My nanny was drugging me to steal my place in the family. I forgot how to boil soup. Not in a cute, distracted way. I stood there, in front of a pot of boiling water, staring at it like a stranger. Did I already salt it? Once? Twice? Or not at all? I didn't know. Then, I forgot why I came into the kitchen in the first place. My name is Sarah. I'm 34. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I wasn't on any antidepressants. Not until Veronica moved in. She arrived right after I gave birth to my second child. A complicated delivery. I was exhausted, physically and emotionally. My husband, David, said I needed help, someone to take care of the baby while I recovered. He found her, Veronica. Young, glowing, sweet-voiced Veronica. "You deserve to rest," he told me, hand on my shoulder. And I was too tired to argue. I nodded. At first, it was fine. She was helpful. She got up at night with the baby, cleaned, cooked, smiled gently whenever I walked into the room. I felt lucky, honestly. For the first time in months, I thought I might be okay. Then the fog came. I started waking up feeling like I hadn't slept at all. My hands trembled. Words slipped out of my brain mid-sentence. Some days, I couldn't remember what I'd done an hour before. I cried in the shower with no idea why. I told David, and he gave me that soft, concerned look. Like he was seeing a fragile thing cracking in real time. "You've been through a lot," he said. "It's probably postpartum." Maybe. That's what I told myself too. But then I noticed Veronica watching me. Not like a friend, not even like an employee, like a predator. It was subtle. The way she lingered when David walked into the room. The way she touched his arm when laughing. The way she glanced at me, not with pity, not with concern, but with something colder, calculating. And then, the tea. She brought it every afternoon. "Chamomile," she said, "for my nerves." At first, I appreciated it. But soon after, I started getting dizzy after just a few sips. I would forget things, lose chunks of time, fall asleep in the middle of the day. Not naps, but blackouts. One afternoon, I woke up on the living room floor, with my baby crying in the other room. I hadn't heard her. That's when the fear really set in. I began pretending to drink the tea. I'd pour it out when she wasn't looking. And slowly, terrifyingly slowly, my mind began to clear. My memory came back in flashes. I remembered her, hovering near the stove, adding something to the tea. I remembered the way she smiled when I told her I was feeling off. I knew she was drugging me. I didn't know what or how, but I was certain. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. The way David started siding with her in conversations. The way Veronica spoke for me when I forgot simple things. "She's just tired," she'd say with a gentle smile. "She's not herself lately." She was setting the stage, making me look unstable, dangerous even. I overheard them talking once in the hallway. She said I should see a doctor, that maybe I needed a little rest away from home. And David, God, he actually considered it. That night, I sat in my bathroom with the door locked, shaking, holding a cup of tea I didn't drink. And I realized she doesn't want to help me. She wants to replace me. And worse, I think she's almost there. I started hiding things. Not big things, small ones. A pair of earrings, a bottle of baby lotion, my phone charger. Nothing she'd notice, but enough to test whether I was really going crazy, or if someone was moving my things when I wasn't looking. Because that's what was happening. Things were out of place. Drawers I never opened were slightly ajar. My lipstick had a new smudge. My favorite blouse smelled like someone else's perfume. I kept a notebook under the mattress and began writing everything down. What I ate, what I remembered, when I felt dizzy, and most of all, what I saw Veronica do. It was subtle. It was smart. She never did anything directly in front of me, but she was everywhere. She tucked my daughter into bed while humming a lullaby I never taught her. She helped David organize his files he'd never trusted even me with. She answered the front door before I could. She had memorized our routines, our rhythms, our weak spots. One evening, I found her in our bedroom. She said she was looking for the vacuum filter. The vacuum lives downstairs. I didn't say anything. I just smiled, nodded, and went straight to the kitchen, where I poured her next cup of tea down the drain. The next day, I flushed the rest of my pills, the ones David's doctor friend prescribed. Veronica had picked them up. To help you rest, they said. But the truth was, they made my mind slow, my limbs heavy, and my thoughts foggy. They made me into a ghost in my own home. Without them, I began to come back to life, and I started watching her. I saw how she looked at David when he wasn't looking, how she dressed, just slightly more revealing around him, a silk robe where there used to be sweats, how she touched his hand just a beat too long, how she whispered when I entered the room, like I was an outsider, like I didn't belong in my own family. But the worst part, he didn't push her away. One night I confronted him. "Do you trust her more than me?" He looked tired of me, tired of my suspicions. "Sarah, she's been the only one holding this house together lately. I don't know what's going on with you. But it's getting serious." My heart cracked. I wanted to scream, to shake him, to make him see. But the words caught in my throat. That's what the drugs did. They made me doubt myself, hesitate, even when I knew I was right. The next morning, I woke up to find my daughter gone. She wasn't in her crib. She wasn't in the nursery. My chest tightened so fast, I could barely breathe. I ran through the house barefoot, yelling her name. It was Veronica, who stepped out of the garden, holding her, calm as ever. "She was just fussy," she said. "I thought I'd let you rest." I took my baby from her arms like she was fire, and I saw it in her eyes. Not guilt, not apology, just amusement. Like I was a pathetic little joke to her. That night, I made a decision. I was done playing the weak one. I set up an old phone behind a row of books in the kitchen, camera facing the counter. The same counter where she made my tea. I waited 3 days. On the third day, I caught her. She pulled a small white capsule from the pocket of her apron, crushed it, and stirred it into my cup. I watched the footage 5 times, numb. Then I transferred it to a USB and put it in the back of a jewelry box. I had proof now, but I couldn't go to David, not yet. She'd spun her web too tightly. I needed more. I needed him to see what I saw, feel what I felt. I needed him to wake up. So I made a plan. The next few days, I pretended to break. I let my hair stay messy, wore pajamas until noon, sat on the couch with a blank stare, letting her believe she had finally won. I nodded slowly when she spoke to me like I was a child. I drank her tea, or at least pretended to. I even started dropping things. A cup, a photo frame, my wedding ring. David watched it all in silence. I saw how tense he was, how lost. Veronica moved around him like a snake, wrapping herself tighter with each passing day. She cooked his favorite meals, laughed too loud at his jokes, massaged his shoulders in the evenings, while I sat like a ghost 2 feet away. I knew he wasn't fully hers yet, but she was close. Then came the night I'd been waiting for. David was having a small work dinner. Just 3 colleagues, all men, all old friends. Veronica offered to cook. I offered to stay out of the way. I waited until the food was almost ready. I watched from the hallway as she plated the salmon and reached into her apron pocket. Not for salt, not for pepper. For the same little packet I had seen on my hidden camera. She added it only to one plate. Mine. I walked into the kitchen just as she finished and picked up the poisoned plate with a smile. "Actually," I said sweetly, "why don't you try this one tonight? You deserve it, V." She froze. It was barely a second, but I saw it. The panic behind her eyes. The calculation. She tried to recover, laugh it off, say she wasn't hungry. "You've been working so hard," I interrupted. "It's the least I can do." She opened her mouth, maybe to argue, maybe to scream, but David walked in. Behind him were the guests. She had no choice. She sat, she smiled, she took one bite. Then I said it. I have it all on video. Everyone at the table turned to me. "I set up a camera in the kitchen. I saw you drugging my tea. I saved the footage. Would you like me to play it now?" Veronica dropped her fork. Her hands started to shake. "You're insane," she hissed under her breath. "You're paranoid and sick." But David wasn't looking at me anymore. He was looking at her. "Is that true?" he asked, quietly. She stood up fast, knocking over her chair. "You're going to believe her? After all she's put you through?" He didn't answer. His face said enough. She stormed out. Not a word, not a glance back. Just silence and the sound of the front doors slamming shut. The dinner was over. The guests left quickly. David and I sat in the quiet for a long time. He didn't apologize, not right away. He just sat there, staring at the untouched plates. "I didn't know," he said finally. "I did," I whispered. And that was the end of it. Veronica disappeared. I never saw her again. A few months later, we hired a new nanny, older, gentle, and with full background checks. David became more present. He watched me more closely, not with suspicion, but with guilt. He started sleeping on the couch, and me, I started healing. Slowly, quietly. I planted flowers in the garden. I picked up painting again. I watched my daughter take her first steps. Some nights I still wake up sweating, afraid I'll see Veronica standing over me. But she's gone. And this time, I remember everything.